Hi, and welcome to another episode of Plastic Free Business Bites, which aims to shine a bit of light on some of the amazing businesses that we have right here in North Devon that are striving for sustainability within their companies and helping us all to kind of build a more sustainable economy in general. And today we have Ollie from Gallox Clothing, which is a clothing startup based in North Devon that are aiming to create a sustainable clothing brand. They mainly sell online at the moment, but are in one of the shops in Barnstable. Ollie's also one of our business supporters and donates a bit of income from every sale at the moment, which has been great for us. So let me introduce you. Ollie, hi.
Hi Claire, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. So Ollie, can you just start by telling us a little bit about your business and how it started?
Yeah, not a problem. So Gallox Clothing actually launched our first range this year, so in September of this year, but the business has been going for over a year. We've been working hard behind the scenes to get ready for our launch, which happened obviously this year. So yeah, we're a brand new company. So for me, I've got no history in the fashion industry. My sister, my business partner, does. She's worked in London for the last 12 years approximately, working with the large fashion houses. Fortunately, it was quite fast fashion and there wasn't much of a sustainable. Lizzie moved back to Devon this year, just before the pandemic hit in, and so we've been working hard to get it up and running, and yeah, we're happy with the results so far, Claire.
Excellent. So what kind of what's your ethics or ethos behind your business? How did that come about?
So again, just tapping into my sister's experience in the fashion world, she was quite disgruntled with the way that fashion world was going, and she wanted to be able to offer something a little bit fresher and different in the world of ethics in the clothing industry. And for me, myself, Claire, although I haven't come from this background, I come from a healthcare background. It was myself and my sister were having a bit of Sunday lunch and decided that we would start our own company and have a high ethical approach in the clothing that we manufacture. So ultimately, I was complaining that I didn't have any clothes that I liked that had a ethical approach to them. So we just decided to make our own. And that's where Gallox was kind of formulated from, really. Far too much wine and a good Sunday roast. So yeah, it was really about us discussing how we could make clothing as close to home as possible. So in our first year of manufacturing, 70% of our total clothing range is made in the UK, and to narrow that down even further, 50% is made in Devon. So obviously that reduces our carbon footprint straight away, which is great. And then also we try to utilise products that are sustainable, natural, and we also offer a free fixing service for all of our premium garments, and that lasts for 3 years. So we'll repair your clothing with no quibble. If it's just from wear and tear, we'll repair it without any questions asked.
Amazing. So you're kind of almost trying to encourage that kind of longevity and that reuse culture or mend culture, rather than the kind of single use throw away once it breaks. So that's one of the tools that you obviously use to help your customer base reduce their footprint. Is there any others?
Absolutely, there is, Claire. Yeah, we tried to break the company down into segments. We tried to be methodical with how we're working in a sustainable approach, and by all means, we're not the finished article. We're not perfect. We don't preach to be that. We know we have our limitations as a small company, but we've also made those decisions in the fact that absolutely, if we don't start them from ground zero, if you like, then we're setting ourselves up to fail from a sustainable approach. So we've been methodical in our way of working that. And so to look at that, we've obviously stripped that down into the different segments of the company. So we've looked at our packaging. We tried to take a really sustainable approach for that. So no plastic outer or inner packaging. Everything that we send our garments out in is recyclable. That goes from our outer packaging even to our stickers that we seal our packages with, and they're all made from recycled paper. So packaging's a massive thing. Obviously, that most packaging that you get sent in the post nowadays is all made from virgin plastics, and that obviously just ends up in landfill. So we didn't want that. So we've taken a high ethical approach to our packaging. And then actually to our clothing itself, Claire, we use some recycled polyester in our clothing. We use as many natural products as we can, and we've tried to keep those natural products again from a UK-based manufacturer, so we know where it's come from. We know that if it's used from a natural product, that the animals have got higher welfare than some other places in the world. So we've tried to be methodical with that, but we've also tried to be realistic as well. It's our first year of trading, and ultimately we know that we can do more to improve, and we'll be looking at that as we go through to our future ranges. But it's hard to simplify things. I think sometimes it's very easy to make yourself complicated within a business, but we've tried to take as simple an approach as possible, and by acting simply, we've made lives a little bit easier for ourselves, and fitting things to push on from, and make some future stride in the way that we trade ethically. And if people look at our website, which I'm sure you'll direct them to at the end of today's session, they can look at some of the bits we're doing in more detail, Claire. But ultimately we know that we've got more to do, but we're happy with the results we've got so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like we talked about before, like everyone's on a different journey depending on the size or business that you are, and how you started. Really, some people kind of have come to sustainability a lot later with their company, but you guys, because you're new, you wanted to do it from the offset, so it's kind of really core to the work that you do and the product that you offer. And I think that shines through in the products that we see. And not everyone's perfect by any stretch, and I think that's really
definitely not.
That for any business that's listening to this, you can't do everything at once, and you're running a business to, by all accounts, support your family and your way of life, and you need to be able to keep doing that whilst improving the other stuff. So yeah, don't be hard on yourself and just keep trucking, I think is the one to take from that one. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So next question, oh my God, if I can. So the next question that we have is, were there any other tools that you would offer to anyone that's becoming more sustainable? Is there anything that or any challenges or solutions, I suppose, that you came to and then had to overcome, that you had lessons learned that you could share with others?
Yeah, so again, Claire's obviously is a new company. We've had no preconceived ideas, so it's been we've operated from ground zero, as I've said. But so we have had, obviously, we are dealing with manufacturers, and as I said, most of those are in the UK.
Yeah.
But we are dealing with some international companies as well, and ultimately, some of the companies we've been dealing with have wanted to send our garments, once they've made, in plastic packaging, so they're kept pristine, if you like, or kept away from anything that's going to potentially cause them to damage. And we've actually taken a standpoint and said that we don't want our garments to be packaged individually in plastic, because ultimately those plastic packets can't be recycled easily, and we don't want to have the responsibility of recycling that, or we don't want to pass that responsibility on to our customers. So we've said to our manufacturers that we are happy for our clothing to be sent just in cardboards, and we'll take the responsibility should any damage come to those. So that was quite a challenging conversation to have. Some of our manufacturers, they were quite reluctant to do that, but we've approached it, and we've had those discussions. We've been open and frank about why we've wanted that, and they've responded to that well. And ultimately, our clothing, luckily, has all come to us in pristine condition, and that means then we don't have that burden on our shoulders, and we don't have to pass that burden on to our customers, and we're really happy with that. And that was just from having a discussion literally over the telephone, Claire. It was just a few telephone calls, and those decisions were made. And if we can do it as a small company, anyone can do it, Claire.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as a business, you have the responsibility to challenge the suppliers that are supplying you to do your work. That's a really good bit of advice. I suppose one of the things that we've often found with, especially people that are producing a high quality product, is that obviously if something does get damaged, it kind of, it doesn't, not having the packaging kind of takes away from the kind of the carbon footprint that product is used to. Oh God, I'm not getting my words completely wrong. I mean, basically, there's a way up, isn't it? If that product's ruined, then it kind of defeats the object of not having the plastic packaging. So you're saying that you haven't had anything be damaged so far that hasn't made you rethink that yet?
Nothing from our manufacturers we've had sent to us has been damaged, Claire. And obviously, when we send it out to our customers, so when we package it up, we just package literally in paper packaging, which is made in the UK from sustainable forests, and ultimately the packaging right down to, as I said, even the stickers are all made from recycled packaging, and so that can, and then they can be re-recycled endlessly. So, you know, everyone's a winner.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. Well, I think that pretty much covers all of our things. Is there any more advice, any other advice that you can give anyone else that's starting out?
I think just be open and honest to yourself, Claire, and realize that you're not going to be able to succeed 100% straight away. You're going to have to be, as I said, be methodical and break those issues down. And there's some bits that you can act on straight away, and there's some bits that you may need time, effort, and money, which may not be available to you as you start up. So just work on the bits that you can get easy wins on, and then look at the bits that may be a little bit more complex as and when you've got time and revenue to address those issues. But I think just be open and honest, and realize that you can't build Rome in a day, and just chip away at the bits that you can.
Well, that's a sound bit of wisdom to finish on, Ollie. Thank you. And Ollie, so where can people buy your clothing?
So we have got our own website. It's www.gallox.co.uk, which is GALLOX. So we're available online, and we've also stock our Betty Bricker owns that shop, sells lots of local clothing. He's a tailor. He's an absolute gentleman, so pop in and see him. So yeah, that's where our apparel's available at the moment.
Yep, and you can also go through our shop on our website, and that will direct you to there as well if you're struggling to find it. And Ollie and his sister do donate 50p for every piece of clothing that they sell at the moment with their chosen charity for the year. So thank you again for your support right from the beginning, Ollie. And it was lovely speaking to you, and wish you all the luck for your Christmas sales and productivity, and we'll catch up soon.
Thank you very much, Claire. Yeah, thanks for taking the time to speak to me today. I really appreciate it.
Cheers, Ollie.